Story 1. I'd replace my missing front teeth. 4. Constantly hiding your smile or missing teeth is exhausting, and I miss smiling without having to worry or fear judgment. Story 2. Therapy. Not that I need it, per se. I just think I'm ever so slightly depressed, anxious, unsure, and it'd be cool to talk about my trauma with a professional instead of the people nearby. Story 3. Every social media company and shut them down. Just turn off the servers. Sorry, but this includes Reddit. I just want to see what happens and how society begins to deal with it. Story 4. My house, so I have something to leave my daughter. The fact that so many people would do this highlights just how hard it is to buy a home these days. Story 5. The entirety of all stocks of all companies worldwide. All of them. Every single one. Next, lobby for positive changes, like making it a law that every employee must own a piece of stock from the company they work for, and other important things. Finally, give those stocks away to everyone equally, but only after ensuring that mass hoarding of wealth is impossible. What, you said if I had an unlimited amount of money? You didn't expect someone to say they'd buy the whole world? Story 6. First thing, a really good accountant. Listen, I have seen too many lottery winners go broke. Before I start throwing money around, I need someone who knows what they are doing to help me not mess this up. Story 7. A house for my mom. She has always dreamed about owning a house. She wanted to die in a place of her own, something she can call hers. She has never had that kind of stability, and I want her to be at peace and rest when she passes. Story 8. I am heading straight to one of those ocean villas in the Maldives. I think they're like $4,000 a night, so an unlimited money glitch is the only way that is ever going to happen for me. I've got Marriott money at best. Story 9. For me, I'll buy a plane ticket and go to other countries. I can't let people know I have this money. They will hunt you. I may stay in contact with my mom, though. Story 10. A small apartment, hire a moving service, and get out of public housing. Then medical care. Eventually, I would build a nonprofit to help others, if I was still alive. Story 11. I would go to the fanciest hotel in my city, have a bath with the nicest body products I could buy on the way, drink champagne and indulge in room service, hop into bed, and watch movies with dessert. Story 12. Homes for the homeless, food for the hungry, more schools, high-speed train networks, pay off all medical and school debt, free medical care, minimum wage subsidy to get everyone to at least $50 per hour, buy a couple of airlines and operate for free. Probably a lot more stuff too. Story 13. My hopes. A really good Disney vacation. A week-long cruise followed by 2 weeks at Walt Disney World for myself and my family. Realistically, a large Dragonite plushie. Story 14. Supermarkets sell food at affordable prices, pay suppliers a profitable price for stock, and stop the squeeze on society for time to come. Starting in Australia, where we have a duopoly of profiteering corporations, I would lay the squeeze back on them. Story 15. Unlimited amounts of money? Massive amount of puts on the S&P 500 ETF just to see what I could do to the market. I mean, massive amounts of puts at multiple strike prices. We don't do calls around here. We're gonna find out how unlimited is. Story 16. An army. I have unlimited money, and I want to do good things with it. Unfortunately, the billionaire troublemakers will have to be removed so that I can ensure people are housed, fed, and healthy. Goodbye, Elon. Story 17. Honestly, the Razer Kitten headset has been my dream ever since, but I never got the chance to buy it because I was supporting my mom and younger sister when dad died from cancer. I had a not-so-good 2024, so I can't afford it right now. Story 18. I would build some tiny house communities for poor people and pay a nonprofit social organization to run the communities, with a sizable self-renewing investment to keep it running in perpetuity, and a new iPad. Story 19. I'd buy all artificial intelligence companies and stop them from harvesting. For instance, this question has been asked 1,000 times in more or less the same way this past week. Make them something useful instead. Story 20. I would go buy a newer car, maybe a 2020 Camry. My 2002 Camry is a little long in the tooth. Scratch that, I would go to my local diner, buy a meal for everyone there, and leave a nice tip. Story 21. Unmatched and unparalleled private healthcare for my parents, myself, my family, friends, colleagues I've gotten on with, and finally everyone else on the planet except for old bosses or human resources staff that have made my life hell. Story 22. Prior to this windfall, my time was used as a method for acquiring money to survive in today's world and make a better life for my family. Remove the need to acquire money and suddenly that time becomes the most precious commodity. I'm spending that on things I want to do with people I care about. After all, it's the one thing that we're not able to go out and earn more of. Story 23. First immediate purchase. Delivery food. First indulgence. A better gaming rig and several different virtual reality headsets. First major purchase. A house of my own. Story 24. Companies. That's right, Twitter is not biased anymore. Phones are back at it again with the headphone jack. Healthcare is available to everyone, insulin costs very little, and the leadership is not ruining this platform because I will be in charge instead. The next logical step would be to hire top-notch security, learn martial arts, and own a couple of guns. Story 25. A house in the Appalachian Mountains somewhere. Nothing too much, just a decently sized 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. So I have room for a future family and at least a couple of acres of land for gardening and chickens. Story 26. I would set up a political action committee and buy every politician. They wouldn't see a cent if they took money from anyone else. Our only rule would be ironic. If you accept policy or money from any other political action committee or lobbyist, we'll flip the money against you. The political action committee will push no other policy. And every penny would be public for everyone to see how much each politician demands in political action committee contributions. It'll be self-regulating. Story 27. On a global level, I would outspend the powers that uphold Citizens United, the fossil fuel industry, and the military-industrial complex. The money would then go to initiatives like eliminating all medical and student loan debt, along with substantial investments in technology and infrastructure to combat climate change. On a personal level, I would eliminate all my debt. Story 28. Leek, potatoes, bell peppers, milk, and flour. Look, I'm still going to have to shop on my way home from work in a few hours, so I can cook dinner tonight. I'll worry about spending the rest afterward. Story 29. Probably something stupid like one of those impulse buy things, microtransaction, game, etc. Or upgrade my coffee. Then I'd get down to business with real things. Story 30. Assuming the money is not printed by magic because that would make any money owned worthless at some point, but rather gets redistributed in a random manner so that I'm able to access it. If that's the case, then I'll achieve true social equality by starting a company that keeps records of everyone's income and total assets, in collaboration with governments, and gives money to people based on how under the average line they are. At some point, assuming true randomness, everyone except for me will have an equal amount of money. After that, I'll probably shift to some far-off secure island to spend the rest of my days doing whatever I love. Story 31. I would find a perfect situation, whether it is a 24-hour, 7 days a week top-notch aide to care for my mother-in-law, in my new, bigger, very comfortable home where there is plenty of room for her and the aide to be cared for, and we could see her and be close to her, or find the perfect aide or assisted living place. It is weighing heavily on my wife, and I would love to take that away from her. Story 32. If I had unlimited money, the first thing I would buy is a solution to world hunger. The only reason this has not been solved already is greed. Cars are fun, houses are neat, but I would not be able to enjoy them with so many suffering. You cannot put a price on being able to live with yourself. Story 33. A large pepperoni pie and a six-pack. Then I would sit back and think about where I want to travel to. I do not care too much about things really. I already have everything I need. Story 34. Haha. Good luck to me then. First of all, I would buy a big house in a good location. Or maybe several houses, actually. Just in case the money suddenly disappears, I will at least still have a decent place to live in. And my monthly expenses will be cut down by a lot since I would not have to pay for rent or mortgage anymore. Story 35. Someone to help me. Maybe someone to hug me? Realistically, the first thing I'd buy is a small Snickers bar and a Monster energy drink. Have that while thinking about what to buy next. Story 36. After building and designing a house, I would build it with as much of my own labor as possible for the enjoyment. I would start a business, something to do with trying to help solidify this country's defense, mining, refining, and high-tech manufacturing. That would take up the rest of my time. I would also include some boating and traveling and philanthropy. Story 37. The car that my girlfriend has dreamt her entire life of buying. I don't personally care much for it, but I think it's the best thing that money can buy that will make her very happy. The main problem is that she's still at least 4 months away from getting her license. It's very strict and hard here. Story 38. First, I would retain the services of a very good law firm and certified public accountant. Next, I am taking my girlfriend on vacation because she has been super overwhelmed with work and school. Then I would buy all outstanding stock in the company I work for. Once we got back home, I would establish some charitable funds. One to benefit adoption agencies, one to benefit adult literacy programs in the area, one to fund general educational development courses for anyone in this area who wants to earn their general educational development, one to pay the tuition for in-state public college or trade school for area graduates, and one to fund local animal shelters and rescues as well as the local aquarium and sea life rehabilitation centers. Then I would buy real estate. Story 39. I would hire a certified public accountant and tax attorney to help me learn how to manage wealth. Then, I would pay off all my bills and learn how to start an endowment or something with funds going to a select group of charities, mostly around animal rescue and abuse prevention. After that, who knows? With unlimited wealth, I am sure there will be lots of people coming to have me seed fund their projects, invest in their endeavors, and so on. Oh, and I would buy a tropical island. Just a tiny one. Story 40. I would buy a first-class flight to New York City and hire an immigration lawyer on my way to the airport. I am opening the funky wine bar of my dreams, and we are selling everything by the glass at reasonable prices. Story 41. Like unlimited money? Probably nothing. Simply because stuff like ending world hunger and poverty will put you on top of the assassination list from every billionaire in the world who makes money from the suffering of others. So basically, all of them. And I do not have enough criminal energy myself to even want to compete against any of them. I would probably continue like I do right now, with the added bonus that I might hand out $100,000 in cash to random strangers on the streets. If I have the feeling a person could really need the money, they should have it. Story 42. I'd be selfish and go to a big department store like Macy's, and everything I saw and liked would go into my cart. It would be lots of home stuff like sheets and kettles. Story 43. Unlimited. Huh? Too much spending could wreck economies, and too little spending would be ineffective. I would start a research company whose sole task would be to work out the most efficient way to make the largest difference in people's lives. If we look to the past, we see things like chemical fertilizers, antibiotics, germ theory, and quantum mechanics all changed the world for the overall good. So, over and above straightforward altruism with unlimited funds, a research and development arm with the goal of maximizing the good over maximizing the profit would be the best, albeit very expensive. Story 44. A small farm in the Philippines, high on the side of a mountain, where I could look out over the distant sea on a clear day and sip homegrown coffee in the shade. Story 45. I would buy Elon Musk and keep him in my basement until he invents and creates a new Iron Man suit for me. Then I would fly high to gain momentum so I could smash Riot Games with my head, rebuild it, and bring back the old League of Legends. That would also bring world peace. Honestly, the best plan ever. Story 46. Every business in existence can prove that paying everyone who works at any company I own an actual living wage plus benefits in the United States can do a lot to improve the quality of life for its citizens. I have unlimited amounts of money. I can afford it. Story 47. Probably a prepared meal because I'm hungry right now. With an unlimited amount of money, I now have almost unlimited options for what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm no longer in a rush to make and save as much as I can until I'm unable to work and earn income. Time has just slowed down for me, so I'm living at my own pace. Story 48. Fix my teeth so I'm not in mild or moderate pain every day. Then buy out the lobbies of the United States government and set up a system or program where regular people can submit problems or concerns for themselves or their community that will be streamlined into monthly information to the House or Senate. Very United States-centric. but it's what I know. Gives people jobs to coordinate and research or validate and gives more of the public a voice. What dreams are made of. Story 49. Immediately, I'm thinking about how I might disrupt world economies and accidentally cause wars and other issues. Also, I could easily put myself in danger or become a valuable asset trapped in some difficult situation. However, I would probably send $10,000 or so to a few families I know could use it. Not so much that it seems too unusual. I could just say I received an unexpected inheritance share or something. Otherwise, I'd have to find a way to proceed cautiously. It's a lot of responsibility and obviously doesn't make much sense. There are finite resources in place and time. Infinite money doesn't change that. It just means that I would somehow be able to manipulate the money supply in some currency. Note, this is why when we talk about unlimited energy, it's actually closely related to the idea of infinite money. If you can access unlimited energy, you're a lot closer to achieving real infinite money. Physics might get strange, and it could potentially mean the end of the universe. So, again, it involves a significant amount of responsibility.